game of polo.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
In the times when most of the world was ruled by the kings and the queens, there lived a very wealthy and powerful Persian king, Yunnan. His face had sharp features, but the skin on his hands and his legs was crippled, patchy, and pale, a sign of his being afflicted with leprosy. The wisest of healers tried to cure him, but could not do so. The king swallowed all sorts of pills, drank all sorts of potions, and ate all sorts of herbs, but it was in vain. One day, a sage came to the neighborhood and came to know about the king's fly. When he came to know about the king's fly, he took it upon himself that he will relieve the king from his malady. The king came to know about the sage. The sage went to the king and boldly introduced himself. "O king, I am a healer. I am the reader of medical books, ancient and new. If you grant me a chance, I shall relieve you from your malady." The king was overjoyed and said, "O sage, if you are able to cure me from my illness, then I shall bestow you with all the riches, and all will be yours for generations to come." The sage then told the king, "Sire, tonight I shall rest. Tomorrow at this stroke of dawn, I shall begin my work. Then if my concoction works, and you do exactly as I say, you shall be relieved in a day's time." Next day, the sage gave the king a polo stick and said, "Here, my king, I am giving you this polo stick. All you have to do is play a game of polo." Hearing this, the court erupted in laughter, and the ministers gave each other a puzzled look. A loud and long-nosed minister stood up and loudly remarked, "How ridiculous! A game of polo is going to cure you, my lord." The king said, "Mock not, minister, let the sage continue." And the sage said, "King, this stick contains a powerful potion. If you play with it, you will perspire, and the sweat of your body will mix with the potion in the stick, and you will know its effect. Then you come to the palace, take a bath, and sleep." The king did exactly as he was told. Next day, he came to the court and announced proudly, "Today morning, when I got up, I saw that there was no sign of leprosy in my body. This calls for celebrations." The sage was then rewarded with gold and gifts and honored to the highest level. And the courtiers congratulated the king, yet stood in one corner that long-nosed minister, eyeing the sage, swallowed with jealousy and contempt. At midnight, the minister ushered to the king's bed and said, "O king, it is my duty to forewarn you of an evil that comes to you." "Speak, minister, what is it that burdens you?" "This sage that cures you with a mere stick, he has come to take your life." "What do you mean?" "If he can cure you with a mere stick, he can kill you. And he seems to be a spy." At first, the king did not trust the minister. Yet, the cunning minister was successful in planting a seed of doubt in the king's mind. "Oh, well, my advising minister, surely if a sage can cure me with a stick, he can kill me with the scent of a mere perfume." Next day, the sage was summoned to the court. And the king yelled, "Strike off the head of this traitor and deliver us from his evil." The sage cried, "What crime have I done?" At which the said, "Men tell me that you are a spy, come here to kill me. I shall not be safe until you are dead. Please, spare me and Allah shall spare thee. Slay me and Allah shall slay thee." But the king showed no mercy. At which the sage then cried, "Grant me then that I may be able to meet my family before I breathe my last. I would also like to share with you that I have a rare book. When you open the pages of the book and have decapitated me, my head will reveal all the secrets in it." On a fateful day, the sage presented the king with a book. And surely, the sage's head was cut off, but he had told the king, "Do not open this book until I have fallen. My head will then speak to you." The king then said, "Okay, agreed," without anything. The sage then fell quiet as his head was cut off. The king then opened the book when the sage's head was cut off, and then silence. He turned the pages of the book. "Nothing is written here." And the sage said, "Suddenly, turn over yet more," said the head. Now the book was laced with poison, and as soon as it took effect, the king fell off and died. At which the head spoke, "Tyrant, see how cruelty and injustice are punished." Had the king spared the sage's life, he would have been alive. Surely you reap what you sow. Well, my message is, people should treat others exactly as they would like to treat themselves. Over to you, Toastmaster Peter.